So here is the story of Bangladesh, and I start with this picture of the monument which represents the martyrs of our war of independence. With great respect to them, we are again in a fight, in a COVID situation. We are again in a fight, and we remember them, and we take all the energy and inspiration from their sacrifice. The new fight is there in front of us, and we have to win this as well. Let's go to the next one. Just to give you a quick update on how Bangladesh, to understand the situation in Bangladesh, it's a highly dense population country. We have about 165 million people with more than 1,100 people per square kilometer, making us the 10th largest country in the world. Our economy is more than $300 billion. We are among the top 50 in the world, and we have been growing at an 8%, as Professor Farhat already said. However, the challenge is that that we still have about 20% people at poverty line, and out of them, about 10% is below the poverty line. So managing this population has become a major challenge during the COVID situation. And if you look at the COVID timeline, on 8th of March, we got the first case detected in Bangladesh. And in about 2.5 months, today we have more than 36,000 COVID positive patients with more than 500 deaths, and recovery is about 7,500. And we are having tests in about 38 locations. But in the last 1 week, we are having more than 1,500 positive cases every day. So this is making our situation actually very vulnerable. The next one, please. The situation in Bangladesh is not different from any other part of the world. I mean, what you see in the picture at the top was the situation earlier. It is one of the busiest commercial place of Bangladesh, Motijil. But today, when you take a picture, this is what you see. I think the same is in Manhattan, wherever you go, the same situation is there. So the World Bank is expecting about a 2 to 3% drop in our GDP growth, which is a big blow in our economy. We had to bring back 250,000 workers from abroad who are our wage earners. And that is going to impact a large amount in our remittance inflow. It is expected to drop by about 22%. Our main lifeline in economy is the ready-made garments export. We are the second largest exporter in the world, next to China. And in that sector, we are badly hit. All the factories are now shut down. More than $3 billion worth orders have been canceled by the buyers. Even for the shipped goods, which are already on its way, they are negotiating a 40% discount of their prices. So you can imagine what is the situation that we are all facing. Yeah, the next one, please. So the topic of our caucus is that the culture and human approach to fight this. You see, in our region we are relatively poor compared to other regions. Our economic strength is little less, but our cultural values are very strong, which makes us very resilient. The key hooks in our culture is the resilience, the care, the empathy, responsiveness, hospitality, religiousness. So all these are the hooks which, with a 3-point strategy, our entire country, our community is trying to handle. We have government on one side who is partnering with private sector and individuals. So together we are trying to address the public, the situation on the ground to fight back COVID with all these cultural hooks in place. Yes, please. First, let us look at how government is handling. Our Honorable Prime Minister has taken such a strong leadership role in this situation, where actually it is becoming an exemplary note for all of us in the country, for all the private sectors, people, everyone, to see how with a strong character that we can fight. She is having video conference every single day. She is having dialogue, e-dialogue with all the district administration, everyone, every single day. Then she has also, ensured through her system, government system, that during this time, during the pandemic, the fake news and the, scoop news creates lots of confusion in the minds of the people. So for that, there was in the ministry, proper system to disseminate information. Authentic information was put in place. National COVID tracker, and every day at 2:30 p.m. Bangladesh time, There is a national briefing from the Ministry of Health. So these are all the initiatives that is taken by government. On top of that, what government has taken, this small and medium enterprise or export sector, as I said, the RMG sector, ready-made garment sector, people, 20% of the people in the poverty line. So for them, government has come up with a $12 billion stimulus package to revive the economy. Side by side, government has taken extreme measures to support more than 10 million people through food assistance, cash cover, and giving them open market subsidized food and grain supplies. And this is helping the entire country in a big way. At least people who are in the lockdown situation, who are daily wage earners, who are daily earners, these people are taken care of so that they can actually follow the distancing, they can stay at home, not come out, not increase the infections. Yes, please. Side by side, the private sector now, I'll be talking about how the business community, the NGOs, the brands that have come up. The largest NGO in the world is BRAC in Bangladesh. This is the largest NGO in the world. BRAC started using its entire field network to motivate people on the safety, on hygiene, on importance of hand wash, on importance of maintaining distancing. And they're also, they started raising fund on their own. They've donated about $2 million from their own fund, and they're also in the journey of about raising about $2.5 million from private donation. And already they're reaching more than 40,000 families with the entire support package. So this is coming from the private initiative. Next one, please. From the commercial brands, that is NGO. But if you look at all the brands, here now the situation is that, more than awareness over promotion. So none of the brands are coming up with, the picky or the cheeky sales promotional kind of things or volume enhancement kind of things. But all these brands, they're coming as responsible citizen, where they're all talking about the community safety. For example, if you look at Lifebuoy, if you look at Savlon, if you look at Telenor, all these people are talking about how to stay safe, importance of staying at home, importance of frequent hand wash. They're not talking about the brands. It is the humanity that is a priority for these brands at the moment. Then if you look at our activation agencies and industry, they're fighting with their communication power. They're telling the entire community that, how to safely take care of the dead bodies, how to take away the social stigma, how to make sure that the COVID affected people still get proper social acceptance and they get all the support. 125 personalities from across the corporate sector and the cultural sector, they came together. Music touches our lives very much. The lyricists, the musicians, they came up. They connected all the walks of life to appeal to the people to come up with their individual donations. And this is going big time. Yeah, please. Then if you see, there is a business response which is happening in three stages. One is policy adaptation, then is workplace safety, and out of office work. In policy adaptation, we all know that most of the companies, they're adapting work from home. But what we see, transformation of e-commerce. Besides the e-commerce platform, even the supermarkets, they're also quickly getting into e-commerce platforms. And every time you get into supermarkets or any marketplaces, hand wash being, hand sanitization being promoted. Even our minister, the fourth picture on the right, the lady in off-white sari that you see, she's our education minister. She is also following social distancing while queuing up outside the supermarket. So all these are, new adaptation that is something that we have seen in the business sector. Yes, please. In the workplace safety, reduction of people at one time in the workplace, that has been followed. And of course, there is this extensive training on awareness going on with safety measures and distancing measures. Next one. When there are a group of people who still have to go to the field. For example, how do we service the supermarkets if we cannot really go in there? So for those people, specific PPE, personal protection equipment, safety measures, trainings, safety of people have been on the top of priority of all the organizations. Anybody risking any job, we have to go into public contact. Those are the safety measures that has been put in place. So this is how business is responding. Yeah, next please. Action for impact. So companies and brands, what they're doing is they're having, beyond their brand promotion, they're having hotline numbers through which people can reach out to them, and through their numbers they can reach out to the health professionals. Largest groups of the country, they are offering themselves. So the second largest COVID hospital is being put up in Bangladesh by the private sector. The telecom operators like Axiata, they have given 33 GB of data to doctors, 27,000 doctors, each getting 33 GB data. Next, please. Business, more than 100 business organizations coming under one platform, which is called Mission Save. Again, with the notion to support humanity, to save our country, where we are all united, something that happened during our War of Independence. So, supermarkets like Shopno, they have extended their support and employment to the people who are less fortunate. Next, please. Next one. Exemplary initiatives by government by cancelling all the go back please. All the major festivals which were, like trademarks for our country. Mujib Borsho was supposed to be one of the Mujib Borsho, the offline celebration was cancelled. We became digital. Same is Independence Day and the Bengali New Year, which was all done digitally. Next one, please. And if you see the celebration of Ramadan and Eid, this was the pre, and this is what it is today. The prayers have taken place on top of our roof, and there is no shopping, no going out. Yeah. And this was done through active advocacy by government, and also through active advocacy by all the private sector companies who have come together. And for human and by human, it means people have come up by giving up their own possessions, went for the celebrities went for auctions and donated those money for safeguard of the humanity. So these are a few of the things that in Bangladesh, how COVID is being fought by embracing culture and human approach. Thank you so very much. Thank you for being with me.